Hello, welcome to this Pre-Employment Team webinar with a focus on ESOL Skills for Life. I'm Amanda Kelly. I'm the Industry Manager for Maths, English, ESOL and Employability here at City and Guilds, and I'm joined on this webinar by Catherine Reid, who is our Technical Advisor specialising in Maths, English, ESOL and Employability qualifications and products.
This is the first of our regular webinars for 2023, and during this session we'll be updating you on the level 2 and below consultation. Then we'll be moving on to our main focus, which will be the ESOL Skills for Life qualification. We will be running through a few ESOL queries and questions, and then we do have our question and answer session that we do run live. When you are listening to this recording, feel free to still email in your questions that you might have. We have included the polls that we run live during the webinar for your information, but also again you can email us your responses if you wish.
In October, the Department for Education published their response to the consultation about the review of qualifications at level 2 and below for learners aged 16 and over in England. We were delighted that the government recognised the worth of ESOL qualifications and that they intend to continue to fund ESOL from entry 1 through to level 2. The consultation confirmed that the existing framework of ESOL qualifications at level 2 and below is highly valued for supporting a diverse range of learners to meet their social, educational and employment aims. As you may be aware, ESOL Skills for Life qualifications are currently mapped against the national standards for adult literacy, with the adult ESOL core curriculum providing additional detail to support teaching that is responsive to the particular needs of ESOL learners. Responses to this consultation indicated that the national standards and the core curriculum continue to provide a valuable basis for regulating ESOL qualifications. And while wholesale change is not needed, there is a need to consider some updates, particularly in the light of changes to other qualifications such as GCSE English and functional skills. Currently, all qualifications at level 2 and below are under review, and the development of new qualifications across all sectors will begin this year in waves. The changes to ESOL come towards the end of the planned changes, and they will not be due for teaching until September 2027. But we expect consultations about the content and design to start to take place towards the end of this year. Ahead of the full review, Ofqual and the awarding organisations who offer ESOL Skills for Life qualifications will continue to monitor them to ensure that they are fit for purpose.
So here is our first poll if you would like to email any responses in or just for your information, and we'd just like to know, are you currently using our ESOL qualifications and how you are actually using them.
We thought it worth running through some key points about our qualification offer and start with a reminder that these qualifications can be delivered in England, Northern Ireland and Wales. Scotland has its own set of ESOL literacies that are mapped to their SQA framework. We'll have a look at the qualifications we have available, how the assessments work, where you'll find things, and a quick look at administering and quality assuring assessments. Each award is a qualification in its own right. So at entry 1, for example, we have a reading qualification, a writing qualification and a speaking and listening qualification. These are known as awards. Each of these can be taken and certificated as a full qualification. The advantage of this is that learners often present with a spiky profile, and this allows them to demonstrate their achievement in each subject at the relevant level. This table sets out the guided learning hours and the total qualification time for each mode, as well as the qualification number for each qualification. Alternatively, you can deliver all 3 modes to make up an ESOL Skills for Life certificate. In this case, the candidate must take the individual unit at or above the level of the certificate that they're taking. If you have a candidate who achieves all three components, reading, writing and speaking and listening, as individual awards, you can top up to a full certificate-sized qualification by registering and claiming under 4692-92. This route can also be used where candidates have achieved individual awards with other awarding organisations, and these can be used alongside the units achieved through City and Guilds to claim their full certificate.
Now we know the different ways we could deliver these qualifications. Let's look at the three different linguistic modes. Firstly, reading. So for entry level, these are assessed by assignment. They are externally set by City and Guilds and internally marked by you, the centre. They are available to administer as soon as candidates are registered, and there is a choice of assignments available to download from the qualifications page. Candidates do not have to complete the whole assignment in a single session, and activities can be done in any order, and if the candidate is unsuccessful, another assignment on a different topic needs to be completed. For reading at levels 1 and 2, these are assessed by multiple choice test. They are externally set and marked by City and Guilds. The tests are available on demand both online and paper, and there are sample tests in both formats available from the qualifications page. For writing and speaking and listening, these are assessed by assignment. They are externally set by City and Guilds and internally marked by you, the centre. They are available to administer as soon as candidates are registered, and there is a choice of assignments available to download from the qualifications webpage. Candidates do not have to complete the whole assignment in a single session, and activities can generally be done in any order. Again, if unsuccessful, another assignment on a different topic needs to be completed. And more for your information, we have included the assessment model so that you can refer to the assessments at a glance, the number of tasks they include and the time allocated to complete, which is always quite a handy overview to have. And we couldn't complete the overview without pointing you to the key documents for the ESOL qualifications that can all be found on the 4692 qualification page, where you can find the qualification handbook, which sets out learning outcomes, assessment criteria and administrative arrangements for delivery. The adult ESOL core curriculum, which sets out teaching and learning expectations, as well as the adult literacy national standards on which the qualifications are based. You can also find the sample assignments under each level, along with the live assignments for level 1 and 2 for speaking and listening and writing, along with all entry live assignments under each level accordion. To help you navigate through our web pages with more ease, we have included the links for the qualifications landing page, where you can quickly access the qualifications you want to easily access, our events, webinars and networks page, where you can see what is available online and for in-person events, the resource hub, where you can download and listen back to previous webinars, the centre document library, where you can access all the quality assurance documents, and under the centre documents you can also find the remote assessment guidance for ESOL, speaking and listening. And just to add here, all the events on both online and in person are free for City and Guilds customers.
Occasionally we receive queries from teachers. We thought it might be useful to share a few of the most recent questions and the responses that we gave. The first question was, do I need to do all the assignments in one sitting? The answer to this is no. In accordance with the assessor pack that accompanies each live assessment, you can conduct the assessments over more than one occasion. Candidates may stop at the end of any activity, but they're not permitted to take any work away with them, and if the assessments are run over more than one session, each session must be consecutive with no teaching or preparation in between. If the assignment is not completed during a single session, the assessor must sign the work when the candidate stops, and date and sign when the candidate restarts, enabling tracking by internal quality assurance and quality consultants to take place. The time allowance set out in the assessor pack must be adhered to. regardless of whether the assessment is taken over one or multiple sessions. Another question we had was, what is the difference between an interlocutor and an assessor? An interlocutor is someone who is responsible for facilitating discussions with the candidate during their speaking and listening assessments. The role of the assessor, on the other hand, is to be responsible for making assessment decisions for each candidate. The two roles should be carried out by different people, with both present in the room while the speaking and listening assessments take place. However, it is permitted for the same person to carry out both roles, provided that they're not acting as both interlocutor and assessor simultaneously. In these cases, the assessment documentation is completed retrospectively, with the assessor using audio recordings of each discussion to assist in confirming the assessment decisions. In all cases, the candidate must be supervised throughout the assessment by the interlocutor, assessor, or other responsible adult. Another query recently raised was around document headings in the reading assessments. The question was, should titles, subtitles and headings have capital letters at the beginning of each word, or should they only have a capital at the beginning? The answer is that either approach to a heading or title is acceptable. In our reading assessments, you will see both forms of the titles. The key thing for candidates to remember is that proper nouns always start with a capital letter. So when they are identifying mistakes in a piece of text, this is what they should be aware of. A number of our customers have started to explore ways to support their ESOL learners with their English language skills beyond their ESOL qualifications. Using qualifications such as the developmental maths units from Mathematics Skills 3847, otherwise known as bite-sized, is useful as topics such as time, money and travel can be explored, improving language acquisition as well as offering the opportunity to improve numeracy skills. We have a customer where the ESOL team is delivering functional skills mathematics at entry level to their learners. They're using this as a vehicle to explore language. Our employability skills suite has a large number of units which cover traditional job search and personal and social development topics, all of which can be very supportive for learners new to the UK and who may be looking to improve their employment opportunities. Units from our Personal Progress Entry 1 suite are being used very successfully by a number of providers for learners who are not yet ready to start studying ESOL, perhaps because they are refugees and are not ready for classroom learning. This is a very useful qualification as assessment is done on a continuum. While improving digital skills is another useful way to improve language, we've currently got Functional Skills ICT from Entry 1 to Level 2, and coming soon we will have a new Digital Functional Skills qualifications. These are due for launch and first teaching in August 2023. We are also aware that other awarding organisations offer essential digital skills qualifications.
As we start to look into creating more ESOL events, we would like to hear from you before we put these events into action. So again, you can email us your responses if you'd like to put your point of view across.
We have partnered with an organisation called Click to Learn to offer a digital course for intermediate learners of English, which is called Journey to English. This is a self-study platform which is very engaging, with learners being able to access 100+ hours of interactive content, which is all designed around a journey through the UK. And teachers can track their learners' progress. We've provided a document which demonstrates how the content of the platform has been mapped to our ESOL qualifications 4692. And there's a link on this slide for further information So visit the website and watch the video demonstration of this useful tool. SmartScreen contains a huge repository of resources which support the teaching of literacy and numeracy, which have been accumulated over a number of years. We've consolidated our English and ESOL resources into a single bank. The content itself is not specific to a particular qualification. Instead, they're all flexible and can be used to support the learning relating to developing written and spoken English, as well as getting the best from reading. To help you decide which resources to use amongst this huge bank, with videos, interactive resources, worksheets, card sorts, you name it, we also provide a series of qualification and level specific resource guides so that you can quickly pick out anything of particular relevance.
Shortly, we will be sending out a survey, and these are the questions we are going to ask. The 4692 ESOL reading test at level 1 and 2 is marked by Sitting Girls, and we'd like to know, does this work for your setting, or would a centre marked assessment be more flexible? We are exploring the possibility of extending the use of remote supervision of writing assessments. And what we'd like to know is, did anyone use this during the COVID adaptations? If so, would you also be willing to discuss how you facilitated these whilst keeping live material secure? We would like to celebrate also our ESOL centres, so we'd like to know if there is anyone who would be interested in being a case study for us. So to ensure that you will receive this survey, please ensure that you are signed up to our email updates, and I have included the link on the slide. If you did have some questions for the pre-employment team and weren't able to ask during the live event, you can email them to us on pre-employment@sittinggirls.com.
Throughout the webinar are useful links, but just to add here at the end are some other email contacts. For general inquiries, including Evolve and RI issues, you can contact our centre support team on centresupport@sittinggirls.com. For any maths and English queries or ESOL, you can contact one of us directly via the pre-employment box, that is pre-employment@sittinggirls.com.
We hope you found this recording useful. Our next webinar is just next week on Thursday the 19th of January at 4 p.m, where we will be delving into functional skills performance feedback. Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you at our next event or webinar. Thank you. Bye bye.